Gloves on, sunglasses, street glide, gas in the tank, vape all filled up, ready to go. Alright, let's do it. What an absolute gorgeous day. Turn these heated grips up because, man, yesterday it was 80. Today it's in the 50s. Whoa! And I didn't see that one. I was not paying attention, and this car is probably not paying attention. All right, there you go. So what's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Headshot, and thank you for joining us. Today I'm going to talk about the Sportster. No, I'm not on a Sportster, but I did own a Sportster, and I just want to tell you reasons why the Sportster is awesome. Because the Sportster gets a lot of hate, especially amongst other Harley riders, amongst pretty much anybody that rides motorcycles. The Sportster gets a lot of hate. Some of it may be justified, but definitely not all of it. And today I'm going to tell you reasons why I like it. So just to preface this, I did own a 17 Iron 883. That was my come back to riding motorcycle. That video actually has a lot of views, but it's on my other channel, my firearms channel, which is my main channel. That's where that video is, and I talked about why that bike was what got me back into motorcycling. I knew I wanted a Harley. I didn't really know what I want. I based it off of looks, which is not, you know, typically the smartest thing. I didn't even have my license when I bought it. I had a permit, so I couldn't test ride it. I just went in on it. I mean, I knew I wanted to ride again. I knew I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. They got my payments where I needed them to be, and that was that. And I had the bike for probably a year and a half, something like that. But it really only took a couple of months for me to realize, yeah, I'm ready for something different, man. This is not the bike for me. But that doesn't mean that it didn't have some awesome characteristics, because it did. So one thing that I'll tell you right off the rip, why Sportsters are great, is because people can afford them, you know? I mean, you're talking about for brand new Sportsters, depending on which one you go with, you know, no more than really $10,000, which in a monthly payment with decent credit is really not that much per month. It's nothing to sneeze at, but in the world of vehicles and boats and, you know, recreational anything, all things considered, it's really not that bad. So the affordability, man, you can afford them. You get a used one, even better. You know, especially with the Evo engine that is known to be bulletproof, man. You as long as you get a decent used one, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. I mean, really. And it's still a Harley, and it's really a cool, it's a cool bike to get into for not a lot of money. And I put that as number one because, you know, everybody's got to consider a budget when they're buying a motorcycle. I'm not saying that's the most important thing, but it's definitely up there. So affordability, definitely good with the Sportsters. All right, so yes, sir. All right, so we talked about the pricing of the Sportster. Why else is the Sportster really good? Well, customizability, the things you can do with a Sportster, make it into a chopper. You can bob them. You can add pretty much any kind of accessory that you want. And I really didn't do a whole lot with my iron. You know, I didn't really care for it, so I wasn't going to put a bunch of money into it, and I knew I wanted to upgrade eventually. So I didn't put even pipes or anything. I basically set it up for a passenger. I put the little headlamp visor, and that was really it. Okay, so I didn't do a lot, but you can do a lot with them. And they've been out for so long that you really never run into an issue of availability. I mean, even if you don't want to go straight up Harley, there's all kinds of options that you can run on. So that's pretty cool. You can customize to your heart's desire. All right. The other thing is the confidence for newer riders and returning riders like myself, from the layout to the mid controls, to the flickability, the weight on them. It's so good for new and returning riders, I feel. It's a really great platform for that. You can get both feet on the ground. You don't have to worry about any of that. Most people can anyways. I mean, I'm 5'7", you know, I don't have a very long inseam at all, and I never really felt uncomfortable on that bike. So that is a good thing. It instills confidence, and it can really get riders back into it. A little caveat: people always talk about the Sportster being a girl's bike, and statistically that's not true, because most riders are male, first of all. Second of all, yeah, a girl's bike, a guy's bike, whoever. I mean, I always thought that was kind of silly, you know, just because it's not 1200 like your Sportster or your Softail doesn't mean it's a girl's bike. You know, are there girls that own them? Yes. Are there more guys than girls that own them? Yes. So, you know, that's kind of a silly thing. I always kind of seen that remark is kind of flexing, like, yeah, you know, I'm way cooler than you, and my well, never mind, my manhood is way bigger than yours because I got a 1200. I know, it's just silly, it's stupid. So little side note there. So yeah, you can affordability, the accessibility and customization options, the confidence building. I mean, it really is a great beginner's bike, and it's still a Harley. It's still a V-twin. It's still air cooled. You can still make them sound really good if you know, when you open them up with pipes. So really a lot of great options there. You know, one other thing I wanted to add about Sportsters is the old school look, and it's stripped down. It's everything you need, nothing that you don't. And look, I'm looking at a nice dash here with speakers and a Bluetooth radio and all these nice things that I absolutely love, but there's just something cool about a bike with a single cluster, or, you know, that's just that single headlight, the cluster, just a little dash, the handlebars, the road, the wind, and it gives you that feeling like the guys back in the day, you know, that were riding these things, that same feeling that we get from riding. It's just that, you know, and it still gives you that awesome feeling, but not giving you anything more. You know, it makes you work and earn everything when you're on a Sportster, and you will feel everything, but there's something oddly satisfying about that, you know. And as much as I love this bike, as much as I really never connected with the 883, really, I still appreciate what it is and how simple and old school the whole look and everything about the bike is. And then one additional thing, because it is a throttle cable and not a hydraulic clutch, it's much easier on your hands when you're in stop and go traffic, just working the clutch. I mean, that's a really small thing, but I just did want to mention it too. If you're a new rider, you're going to have that benefit of a throttle or a throttle cable that you can adjust, and it's going to be a little easier on your hands, especially if you do a lot of urban riding, which is where this bike is fantastic. And that leads me into my next point. If you're doing a lot of city riding, the Sportsters are great. You know, I loved taking mine around town and all that kind of stuff. I did not like it too much on the highway. That was one of the big problems I had, and I take the highway every single day. But around town, the bikes are great. If you're in a state where you can lane split, even better, because the small profile allows you to get in and out between cars in a safe manner, and you don't ever really have to worry about that. So a fantastic around town bike, or bike night, or, you know, if you're going from place to place and doing a ride where you have multiple stops, it's really good for those situations. And I didn't even mention the 1200 Sportsters, you know, like the Roadster, and you have their Iron, the Roadster, you have the Iron 1200. What's the other one, man? I'm forgetting one. I'll put it on the screen here for you guys. Those are basically the 3 models that are left. So I'm just talking about the 883. You can literally have the 1200 motor. The only thing one of the things I don't like about the Iron, and we may do a top 5 things I hate about the Sportster maybe, but one thing is your fuel. I mean, I prefer the Iron because you get a bigger gas tank. You know, if you go with like a Roadster or something like that, you're talking about a 2.3 gallon tank or something. I mean, it's crazy how small that tank is. So, you know, that's just one of those things. But all kinds of engine variants and options. If you get an 883, you really like the bike, but you want more torque and horsepower, you got the 1200 kits, which are a great upgrade. There's just a lot of things to like about the Sportster in that regard. I'm about to slow my booty down, little copper there. And I tell you, these heated grips, this is gonna keep me riding so much longer, because I don't really have a problem with my chest or my head or my legs really. Put some long johns on, I think I'd be all right. But my hands, man, I had bilateral carpal tunnel surgery a few years ago. It's been about 5 years now, I guess. And ever since then, my hands are so sensitive to cold. I don't know why. It doesn't really make any sense. But if you've ever had that surgery, do your hands do the same thing? I'm just interested to know. But these heated grips really feel nice. And these are not insulated gloves either, by any means. What is this guy doing? What a ridiculous looking truck. Like, why even do that? I don't get it. It looks so stupid. All right, well, anyways, he likes what he likes. Who cares? Yeah, I really like these grips a lot. But, you know, the Sportster is an awesome platform, man. You can do so many things with it. It's really good for people that are, and to be honest with you, even though I didn't really ever connect with the bike, it got me back into riding. That's a good thing. If it can get people back into this and add more members to our community, to me that's a good thing. I mean, regardless of where you stand on the Sportster itself, you know, it is seriously the bastard child, I feel, of Harley. Anytime you tell somebody that has a bike like this or a Softail or whatever that you have a Sportster, you always see a little chuckle, and it doesn't really bother me. I just think it's kind of silly. I mean, what's funny about it? I mean, because they're awesome little bikes. They have some caveats, and there's some things that you know that drive me nuts about those bikes. But all in all, they're great bikes, and you can make them into anything you want them to be. So I'm interested to hear from y'all down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the Sportster lineup, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We will see you in the next one, and as always, hold the rubber side down.